Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In case you're new here, my name is Lorena and I love to share my recipes with you. And if you've been here before, then hello again. Today we're going to make a basic tomato sauce, which I find that it's really nice to have it homemade. This is a recipe that has been evolving for me over time. So first I would use only fresh tomatoes and tomato paste. Now I actually mix it up with a bit of cherry tomatoes because they have a bit more intense flavor and also a bit of sweetness. The only thing that I've done in advance is my vegetable stock, which I have over here, and it was made with carrots, with celery, onion, and of course a bay leaf, just to give it a nice fragrance. As always, if you want to see the whole recipe, including the vegetable stock, all you need to do is click on the link in the description box below or on the eye above me, and that will take you to the blog where you will find lots more recipes. Also remember that if you like this video, you can always put thumbs up to it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. I'm now going to make this basic tomato sauce, so if you want to see how it's done, then keep on watching this video. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cook my onions, which I've already chopped really nice and finely, with some olive oil, and once that is nice and soft, we're going to add the garlic, and we're going to start adding one by one our ingredients until we get a really nice mix. So first we start with the olive oil on medium heat and we add the onions. Along with the onions, we're also going to add the carrots. We're going to cook them, stirring constantly until the onions are nice and soft and also very translucent. We're also adding the bay leaf so that the oil can take out the maximum of its flavor. Onions are now nearly there, but it's really important that I make sure that they're nice and translucent, that they're soft, and that they're not giving out that strong smell that they were giving out at the beginning. This is because when I start adding the liquids, it will stop cooking completely. So if you leave any strong flavors in the onion, then it will come out afterwards in your tomato sauce, and that's something that we definitely do not want. Okay, so now I'm going to grate my garlic into our mix. The reason I added the garlic after the onion is because the garlic cooks faster and it also has a tendency to burn, which is something that of course we don't want because then it will turn bitter. Next we're going to add our tomato paste. We need to cook the tomato paste for at least a minute before we start adding the liquids. Next I'm going to add a bit of white wine and let it evaporate completely. I've now added my tomatoes, which were peeled and de-seeded. Now I'm going to add my cherry tomatoes, which I cut in quarters. We're going to heat them up before we add in the stock. As you can see, it's already looking like a tomato sauce, but we do need to add the vegetable stock in order to let the tomatoes really start to disintegrate and become soft. Now that I've added the vegetable stock, I'm going to add a couple more things that will give this tomato sauce extra flavor. One of those things is this. I always recommend to you guys that you buy a good parmesan cheese if you're making anything remotely Italian. And in this case I have here a Grana Padano cheese, but it could also be Parmigiano Reggiano, or even it could be a more commercial brand, but definitely not a pre-grated one because those are drier and don't melt as nicely. So if you have a nice cheese, then you can do this, but it's completely optional. So on a really nice Parmesan cheese you'll get a crust, and this crust is not very nice to eat, it's really tough and you shouldn't eat it. But it will add some flavor to this, to soups in general, and also to this tomato sauce that we're doing right now. So this has a tiny bit of Parmesan cheese that I wasn't able to grate anymore. And then of course the crust, which is going to give it a ton of flavor. The other thing that I'm going to add is this nice bunch of basil. It's not the nicest piece of the basil that I bought, but it's good enough to give it flavor. So it's a good use to an ugly branches of basil that are still good enough to eat, but maybe it won't look as good in your final presentation. And I've tied it up because I'm going to remove it afterwards. And now I'm going to wait for it to come to a boil and then reduce the heat to a minimum, and then it's going to cook for about 30 minutes. And when we come back, you'll see how nicely the tomatoes have started to disintegrate. And I'll explain to you all these aromas that are coming to me right now. Oh, and I almost forgot, but you do need to add salt at this point. It will help the tomatoes disintegrate. Afterwards, we can adjust the level of salt if it were to need a bit more. It has now started to boil at places, so I'm now going to reduce the heat to a minimum and let it cook for 30 minutes. I will check it at times though and stir it around a little bit just to make sure that the liquid is evenly spread around the pan. Okay, so my tomato sauce is now nice and ready. I've already also removed the basil and the crust of Parmesan that you can see here, and also the bay leaf. And now this is ready, so I tasted it. I like the level of salt. It's not acidic, and I was lucky with that, and also the cherry tomatoes help a lot. But depending on where you live or the time of the year or the kind of tomatoes that you buy, it might be a bit acidic, and you might want to level that with 1 or 2 teaspoons of sugar. I'm also cooking my pasta over here. I'm using spirals, so I like that if I'm doing a chunky sauce like this one, I like that it traps the sauce in between the pasta, so it can either have holes in them like a penne, or even, you know, shells or something like that, or spirals, and so it can trap it. Also at this point you could blend it to have a really nice and smooth sauce that you could also eat with fettuccine or, you know, other types of flat pasta. Now I'm going to store most of this and just keep enough for one, which is the amount of pasta that I'm cooking. And then as soon as I see that my pasta is almost done, I'm going to finish it off here inside the sauce, just so that it can absorb all the flavors that are in here. You can finish this dish off with some grated Parmesan cheese and of course some basil leaves. That was my tomato sauce recipe. I really hope you like it. If you did like it, don't forget to put thumbs up to this video. It makes me really happy. Please, if you made this recipe or any other recipe from the vlog, don't forget to tag me on your pictures or send them to me, because I really love to see what you cook. Also, if there's anything savory or sweet that you would like me to teach you how to make, then you can leave a comment below. I'm posting videos every Thursday and Sunday, so if you don't want to miss any of them, then I recommend that you subscribe to my channel. It's free and only one click away. You can also follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook as Cravings Journal. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you next time.